Recording?
Yep.
All right. Again, good afternoon. I'm Curtis Moore. I am the APTI. They call it the Assistant Principal of Title I. Title I is funds that we receive from the federal government, sometimes state government, where it is used to support our students here at the Center. Most of the time, it's going to be your schools with 50% or more free and reduced lunch. And there's other factors that plays in that, and I'll talk more about that. This meeting today is the attendance workshop for the 25-26 school year, and this is our family orientation. Basically, we'll get to know each other. Again, I'm Curtis Moore. I've been here 3 years. This is my 21st year in education. Even though I still look about 25, it's 21 years for me. That is our pick right there, Ms. Garcia. That is our ITIC coach, Ms. Johnson, who will speak about technology, and that's Ms. Inez, who serves as our media specialist, part-time teacher. All right, Family Center information. It is located right across from the front office where you guys come in the building at. Ms. Garcia's is on the right-hand side where the blinds at. That's when the kids, most of the time, they first get registered here. They go in there. She go over all the paperwork for the school. She gives you expectations. 9 times out of 10, one of the APs, the school council will come in and speak with you. Our hours here at the Gibbs Center is from 6:30 to 2:45, Monday through Thursday. On Friday, we get out of here at 1:30. So please, if you have anything that you want to speak with us about, on Friday, we just tell parents, try to make sure they get before 1 o'clock. Resources, educational materials, computers, and internet access for parents to research and connect with educational researchers online. Parent portal information, community resources, etc. Our pick here at the school is Ms. Consuela Garcia, who is right here, and that is her phone number right there, as well as her email. Student attendance. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. L. Nelson. He serves as our school counselor here. I'm sorry, school social worker.
Okay. All right. So again, my name is LeSean Dempsey. I am the school social worker here, and attendance obviously has always been a major concern for school. If a child isn't present at school, how will they be able to learn? But right now, with the national government, there's even more of a push to ensure that kids are coming to school every day. There is a new bill that has been instituted for all schools to oblige by that is encouraging all parents to ensure that their child is attending on a consistent basis. So right now, we have implemented some procedures to where if a child isn't in school for 3 days or 5 days, we call them nudges. So there will be like different messages via parent view or letters in the mail to continue to encourage parents to ensure that their kids get on the right track with that. You even have some states that are going on by providing, and they haven't done it in Georgia yet, but providing like incentives, like I believe in Tennessee, where a parent will get a discount on like a water bill if their kid has good standing. So this push right now is becoming very serious because you got, I think right now, the dropout rate is probably the highest that's ever been. You got more and more kids who aren't just coming to school right now for whatever reason, political, different factors that's into that. So right now, the push for attendance is something that's very serious, and obviously it's trickled down with us here at this school. So, I guess starting with, the parents that's here, continue to encourage your kids to be in school and things like that as we try to expand that, further beyond this industry. Okay. All right, so objective 1, parents will understand how attendance impacts a student's ability to succeed academically. Objective 2, parents will be familiar with local and state policies and procedures as it relates to school attendance. So kind of go on this one, as I said, attendance breeds that child's ability to be able to learn and to be able to enhance their academic achievement. Again, if they're not here, how will they possibly be able to learn? Objective 2, again, parents will be familiar with local and state policies and procedures as it relates to school attendance. Again, there are more and more laws right now that are dedicated to ensuring that parents understand the value and priority of making sure that they are encouraging and disciplining their children to be in school. Because like as a social worker, if a child gets to a certain number of absences, whether it be unexcused or excused, then courts get involved, DFACS, you have different things that will try to really make a parent lock in on making sure that their kids come to school. Right now, the number nationally is 15. Once that number gets to 15, then the courts have the right to get involved and that parent can be actually prosecuted for negligence of their child's attendance. And then objective 3, parents will learn about strategies that they can utilize to encourage children of all ages to practice good school attendance. Right now, we're trying to implement more things that here is school-based where we're rewarding kids for actually showing up every day, whether it be, an extra shoe game day or just doing different activities to just applaud them for doing the right thing. I know just in life, sometimes when we're doing the right thing, we excuse trying to reward it as if like, well, you're supposed to do that. But I'm just a firm believer in positive reinforcement. So when you're doing the right thing, I do believe that you should be acknowledged and rewarded for it. And then how does attendance impact academics? All right, so chronic absenteeism in schools has seen a significant rise since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Chronic absenteeism affects over 7 million students in the United States, representing about 60% of the student population. Reports indicate that the percentage of students who are chronically absent jumped from 15% in 2018 to around 28% in 2022. All right, in Gwinnett County, our absenteeism rate more than doubled from 2018 to 2024. So again, if a kid isn't coming to school on a consistent basis, once they get to a certain age, they like, I'm so far behind, why do I even need to try to graduate? So that has directly impacted school dropout rates as well. So again, the push to make sure that kids are coming to school on a consistent basis is very, very serious. It's not just at the state level, but a national level. All right, here. And so this is a chart here. 1 day every 2 weeks, 20 days or 4 weeks is equivalent to 1.5 years of school. 1 day each week, 2.5. Obviously 2 days, 5, and then 3 days per week, 7.5 years of school. School absences can add up quickly, and even missing just a couple of days each month can have a significant impact on the student's academic success. When students miss school, they miss out on critical instruction and opportunities to engage with their peers and teachers. This can lead to lower grades, difficulty keeping up with coursework, and higher likelihood of dropping out. So again, a lot of the same factors that I've spoken about here. And then as a mental health professional, when you're not engaging with your peers, when you don't feel smart, when you don't feel connected with your community, that has significant impact on your mental health as well. And we've seen a rise in that since 2018 as well in the mental health field. A lot more depression, a lot more suicidal ideations, a lot of things that impacted by a kid not feeling a part of their community and their school. Oh. All right, GCPS attendance procedures, all right? Chronic absenteeism, students who miss at least 15 days of school, like I told you the number, in a year are considered chronically absent, includes both excused and unexcused absences. Factors leading to chronic absenteeism can include family circumstances or lack of engagement with the school. All right, truancy is 10 days, right? Students will accumulate at least 10 unexcused absences implies deliberate and unexcused absences that are often behavioral related. Counts only unexcused absences like skipping classes or leaving school emphasizes legal compliance. All right. So, like I said, once it's at a truancy state, you'll receive those nudges. And we're trying to inform all the parents, like once it gets to this place, like, okay, once it gets to that 15, things are going to take that turn. And then that's when I'll get involved more seriously. Where again, I have to report this to the local courts, Gwinnett County courts. And then from there, a parent will be summoned to court and have to face a judge for their child's negligence for coming to school. All right. Georgia compulsory attendance law. All right. Georgia School Attendance Law 22690.1. Every parent, guardian, or other person residing within this state having control or charge of any child or children between 6th and 16th birthday shall enroll and send such child or children to a public school, private school, or a home study program. All right. Once you get in America, once a child or a young adult gets to the age of 16, they're actually considered an academic adult, and they have the right to go to school or not go to school and not have any legal implications for it. Addendum State Law 22150, all children enrolled for 20 school days or more in public schools prior to their 7th birthday shall become subject to all the provisions of this article relating to compulsory school attendance, even though they were not attained 7 years of age. All right. All right, so this little chart is just kind of breaking down, we were all kids at one point, so, we've all tried different things to try to stay home, and so this chart kind of like the most simplest thing in regards, like I'm sick or I'm not feeling well, how that can impact attendance. So, all right, so runny nose, no other symptoms, I haven't, sticking to school if, I haven't taken any fever-reducing medicine for 24 hours. I haven't had a fever during that time. I haven't thrown up or had any diarrhea for a 24-hour period. Keep me at home. I have a temperature higher than 100 degrees. Even after taking medicine, I'm throwing up or having diarrhea. My eyes are pink or crusty. I call a doctor. If I have a temperature higher than 100 degrees for more than 2 days, I've been throwing up, I have diarrhea for more than 2 days, I've had the sniffles for more than a week and they're not getting better. I still have asthmatic symptoms after using my asthma medicine, and calling 911 if I'm having trouble breathing or utilizing my inhaler. All right, so this is just a small breakdown in regards with, just assessing a child and how they feel in regards with children keeping home for school. All right, and how can parents support good attendance? All right, let's work together. All right, to help support students reach their fullest potential, addressing chronic absenteeism requires a collaborative effort between schools, families, and communities. By working together, parents, students, and the school district can enhance the educational outcome of each and every GCPS student by encouraging consistent attendance so that they benefit from the opportunities that education provides. This collaborative effort can help students not only in becoming college and career ready, but also develop the skills and confidence needed to pursue their dreams, goals throughout the education and professional journeys. As I said, this kind of really speaks on the mental health part, not only addressing them becoming better students, but also just better human beings. I do believe, coming to school every day and feeling like you're part of a community has a direct impact on your overall mental health, your feeling towards yourself and your peers, which can have a direct impact on reducing different stress levels, different anxieties, different depression levels. And then, like I said, it just has a whole impact on not just them academically, but them socially.
All right, this is our ELT overview, and that's Ms. Freeman, going to be coming up and speak to you guys.
smiling for the truth, because you are beautiful.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ms. Freeman Jones, one of the other assistant principals, and I'm primarily the director over what's called EOT, which is Extended Learning Time. And with EOTs, we offer remediation, we offer credit recovery and course recovery for our students, and then we also are starting to implement those multilingual learner remediation sessions to help them gain those basic skills that they may be lacking to get that English proficiency. And so the purpose of the EOT program is to supplement interventions for their regular core content subjects. So EOTs happen outside of the regular school day, so that can include Saturday sessions, or it can include them working after school online through our program called Edmentum, where we house their credit and course recovery programs. And the difference between the two, so if a student has failed a course in high school and they failed that course between a 50 and a 69, they're able to take the modified version of that course, and we call that credit recovery. But if they fail with anything less than a 50, so 49 and below, they have to do the more expansive course, and it's called course recovery. So that's the difference between the two. So you may have some of your students, students in 9th grade, they don't understand that transition from 8th to 9th grade. And they don't understand that you have to have a certain amount of credits, 23 here in Gwinnett County, in order to graduate. And so they sometimes get in 9th grade and they're still playing around, and that's where we see our kids have to make up a lot of those credit recovery courses is because of 9th grade, and they don't understand the ramifications. So that's why we have what we call extended learning time and programs for them put in place where they work on that credit recovery or course recovery after school, and then sometimes we implement Saturday sessions. Yes.
So do you send emails out around this?
Yes, the counselors are the ones who primarily contact the students, so I let her know. So the counselors contact the parents, they meet with the students first and say, hey, I'm gonna put you in credit recovery or course recovery for this class. Here are the sessions you need them, but they can still work on at home on them because that program is open 24/7. So they don't have to be here at the school to continue to work. But what we do when they come to the school and work in the Saturday sessions, we have the core content teachers here. So if they get stuck in something in the program, we'll have that math teacher that can say, hey, let me show you how to work this problem out. Or we'll have the ELA teacher, the social studies, and the science teacher to help them when they get stuck in the program.
And is this every Saturday?
No, we send it out on Parent Square when the Saturdays are available. So our next two sessions are September 6th and September 13th. And so the students report from 9 until 12.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Was
And
there
also,
any-
it's located on our Facebook page. We have a Facebook as well as a Instagram page, Give West Center. So every time something like this is going to be updated as well on our Facebook page.
Thank you.
And Ms. Johnson sends out a message on Parent Square. Did I have any other questions for extended learning time?
What was the time again? September what?
September 6th and September 13th, and the students report from 9 until 12. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Freeman. Right now, again, I'm for the ones who came in late, I'm Mr. Moore, I'm the assistant principal Title I here at the Gill Center. Now I'm going to speak on opportunities for school and district engagement. GCPS opportunities for school and district engagement. We have monthly board meetings at the county. You are free to go anytime you want to go to the board meeting. They are very interesting. They talk about things that's going on in the district, some things that they think we're getting rid of. They talk about new appointments, new principals, teachers, all these different things. It's very informative, long, but it's very informative. They do a lot of good information, so definitely feel free to go anytime. Local and school council, we do have our local school council here. If you'd like to be a part of that, please do not hesitate to reach out to Curtis Moore. I am the assistant principal again. Reach out to me, I can get you added to the list. So we have our council meeting, you're more than welcome to come up and give ideas. Because like I tell people all the time, the most craziest questions are the questions that are not asked. If you want to see some things here in the school, please come back and give us feedback because we don't know. We can't read minds. So some things that you want to get done, here's some things you want to come up here and do, and things that you don't like. Come and talk to us. That's what we're here for. District Family Advisory Council. They do that for the district as well with GCPS. They have the big old bill down there in Swanton, ISC, where they have a lot of this taking place. Actually, I just got back from the county not even 30 minutes ago from dealing with one of these meetings. And last but not least, engage, equip, empower sessions. They do a lot of those meetings right there for parents. I think it's called Y'all Come meeting that they have for parents. So please make sure if you're not signed up on the Facebook page, Instagram page, everything what they kind of does, they always put it on social media because they know some parents attach their phone more than the house phone. I don't even think people have house phones anymore. So make sure they try to make sure they give many avenues to get this information to you. Technology resources. I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Johnson. She is our IC coach. I said it right. Thank you so much.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. As Mr. Moore said, I'm Christy Johnson, the Instructional Technology Coach here at Midwest, and I'm going to share some technology resources related to ParentView versus Parent Square. My favorite course, our new student learning space, which is formerly our student portal, and the Midwest landing page. Okay, so by now, hopefully you know the difference between the two, but if not, ParentView is where you're going to be able to see your students' grades and records. So they upload all that information to ParentView, and then Parent Square is where our teachers, as well as Ms. Garcia, and myself send out messages to you all, as well as the county, for important information that you all need to be aware of. So for ParentView, as I said before, this is where you can access all of your students' records. You can find this via the online registration when you sign your student up, so you should all have access to this. I'm available if you ever need assistance with it, but it will give you access to their class schedule, their grades, attendance, the teacher assignments, any behavior notes, assessment information, and communication with your teachers. So you can actually go into that platform and communicate with the teachers. You can see their classes, the time their classes are, their assignments, etc. And it gives you a direct line to the classroom. So if you want to know what's going on, this is your access to that. Okay? You don't have to ask your kids questions. I don't ask mine. I have 3 young people in that. I don't have to ask them much. I just go in there and look and see what's going on. Okay? And then they can give me the story later. Kids and families are direct line to the classroom 24/7. So that information, as soon as those teachers upload those assignments, then you will see those grades posted in the ParentView for you to be able to see. And you can access it anywhere. It also provides you access to Parent Square, so there's a little section in there if you want to just go to the ParentView, not really worry about having to go and access Parent Square. It will link you all through the ParentView app, as well as My Parents Plus. Okay? There is a mobile app you can access via the Google Play Store, as well as the App Store for Apple devices. Okay? And this is what the online version is like when you're signing up. Okay, as I said before, there's an app for ParentView, so this is what the app looks like for your login. Hopefully you don't have to be familiar with it when you have downloaded that app. And then this is the online version. So you can go to the Gwinnett County Public Schools website and go to the ParentView, and this is what it will look like for you to log in. They also give you the links if you want to download those apps on that page as well. Okay, so what can you see once you actually access ParentView? The online version is over here. So like I said before, you can see the attendance, course history, you can see all their courses that they've taken since they've been in Gwinnett, current schedules, and discipline issues, documents, fees, curriculum. It's exhaustive what's in there. You'll also be able to see transportation if you need to see that. This is the app version, very similar, but a little more condensed. So you can get those pieces of information there. Okay? So like I said, there is a difference between the two. ParentView, enrollment records in progress. Okay, so attendance, their grades, most importantly, and their schedule. It's also translated to your preferred language if you need that ability as well. And if you have multiple children in Gwinnett, you'll be able to access them all. You're that single ParentView. For Parent Square, Like I said before, if you need to send the teacher a message, you can just simply log into Parent Square and find that teacher and send them a message, and they'll be able to respond back to you. It's kind of like texting back and forth, but Parent Square is the official communication tool approved by Gwinnett County Police. Okay, and it also has language preferred selection as well. I send out messages from Parent Square, Ms. Garcia sends them out, and like I said, you can communicate with your teachers via Parent Square as well. Okay? Parent Square also houses our orientation agreements for 25-26. Last year was the first year that we actually housed them there. So if you have not gone in and read and acknowledged your back to school forms and the Title I documents, they are located in the Parent Square app. If you have questions about that, you can let me know as well. Okay, My Payments Plus, this is how you can actually add money to your student accounts. Here at Midwest, we have a no cash policy basically. We may have it allowed for when they're purchasing shirts. I'm not sure, but that may be the only one. But it should be My Payments Plus. So you just load that money on there, via a debit credit card or a checking account. And once you've done that, then the students can go and purchase or pay for whatever they need. And that's including their lunch. All right, so switching gears a little bit, our student learning space. This has been renamed this year in our portal. Now we call it the learning space, and this is where your students will access all their academic information that they need to be successful. If you look here, you have My Student View. That is the equivalent of your parent view. So they can go in and say, I don't know what I have in this class. They just go into My Student View. They will see the same range in My Student View. Okay. Google Classroom, I'll talk about that a little bit later, but that is our new learning management system, replacing eClass. Assessments, Student Square, which is the equivalent of Parent Square for the parents, and then our library and online research. Okay, now we have our new Give West landing page. When your students log into their Chromebooks, as you know here, unless you specifically requested a Chromebook to take home, these students use their Chromebooks in class and then they come back in. But when they log in, they should see this landing page pop up. This is replacing our landing page that we used to have in eClass. And this is basically a Google site with their icons here. If they need specific information, the bell schedule, our dress code that has been updated this year. Counseling corner, they can access the counselors, they can see which counselor is in charge of which students. If they have tech support that they need, those come to the tech team and we can assist them if they're having any issues logging in various items. Media center for our media specialists is INET, and then at Minnesota, I'll talk about in a minute, and then tutor.com. That's basically a website that they can sign up for and receive tutoring, online tutoring. Okay? And then Georgia Matters for like colleges and post-secondary options. And then we have the links to our Give West website and then the GCPS website. Okay, so Google Classroom. This is where the students will access Google Classroom. It replaces eClass. Student View, this is where they access it here on their learning space, and then assessment. If they have tests to take, they just click on this. Their teachers are using peer assessment, which is our GCPS sanctioned assessment platform, and they will see assessment scores. They will just pop up as teachers assignment, and they can take those tests in class. As I said before, Google Classroom has replaced eClass for our learning management system. This is where the teachers will be sharing their digital assignments as opposed to eClass, and they used it prior. And then, like I said, it's on the dashboard. Students can turn in their assignments via Classroom, and the teachers will receive those digital copies via their Google Classroom portal. For GCPS online program, we have Delta Math, that's for our math students, practice and feedback for math assignments. iReady, our lessons engaged in math, language arts that engage students. Achieve 3000 is math and language arts, that's a quick achievement for language arts this year. Google Workspace, that is their Gwinnett County provided Google account. They have Google Docs, Sheets, all of the Google apps, and they also have their Gmail account that they can communicate with their teachers. They cannot receive outside emails from outside institutions via the Gmail that we have with them. Microsoft 365, the students have access to all of the tools featured in Microsoft Office. As long as they're a student in Gwinnett County Public Schools, they have free full versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, notes, and I don't think we really use Photoshop. But the main thing is PowerPoint and Word. So if you ever need to create a document in Word, I know we've kind of gone towards Google, but you do have that full suite as long as you're a student in Gwinnett. And then Adobe Creative Cloud, some of the teachers are utilizing this to create like flyers and things of that sort, but they have the access to the Adobe via their student learning space. Okay, some of our teachers actually use study.com. This is a GiveWest specific software that we're paying for. It's really helpful for online tutorials on various topics. So the teachers go in, they search up lessons, and then they find activities that will guide the students through the activities, give them that kind of one-on-one assistance via the study.com platform. And they also can take assessments or little quizzes, checks, that the teachers can kind of see how they're progressing. So this is a really excellent program. It's very expensive. So if your students have a class with that, just ask them about it, but it's very, very, very beneficial for all of the subject areas, and all of our teachers have access to it. All right, Edmentum, Ms. Freeman mentioned Edmentum. This is going to help our students reach their graduation goals, and they fall a little behind. And it is flexible through personalized and first-time credit recovery and expanded course access. So they have a course that they need to retake. Most likely it will probably be assigned through Edmentum, and it's a step-by-step program that helps them relearn topics and activities and standards that they need to refresh on. And that pretty much covers my technology segment. Do I have any questions? Like I said before, I send out a lot of messages via Parent Square. So if you ever have any questions, you can call the front and they'll send you to me or our member tech team if you have any technology questions. But this is the main number and they'll route you to me or Mr. T who is the TST.
Pueden apagar un momentito, no les escucho.
Alright, so in this college you have this paper, the blue paper, we have it's the evaluation paper. You can please show me with this. You have
Yes.
Mr. Peters, can you make me some minutes here? Un lado está en inglés, el lado de la reunión, el otro